my nephews, they are in college now and they're still in therapy. The
so what do you think
goes
the
beyond.
solution is? So
I'm forgive me for spilling, being long-winded on this, but I'm saying the notion that there's one solution I feel is false. Can there be several things?
This is like
arming teachers, asking they barely get paid enough as it is. They have to buy their own supplies, and now the notion that they have to be armed. My grandparents were teachers. I don't see that as a reasonable solution. Bulletproof glass. Hell, wasn't it just the CDC in Atlanta in the recent months where somebody shot at it by the base of the bulletproof glass? Nobody was injured. Could that be one of many different solutions? Stricter gun laws. I'm a gun owner, and one of my opinions is that guns should be hard as fuck to buy. I recognize the Second Amendment, but at the end of the day, it's not a fucking toy. Its purpose is to take life, period. Make the shit hard as hell to acquire. Look at Japan, if I'm not mistaken. When someone buys a firearm in Japan, they interview the fucking neighbors of that potential gun owner. Maybe one of the consistent things is, yes, schools. But hell, after the school shooting here, there's a fucking fucking shooting at the splash pad around the corner from my house. And some moron rolled up, kids were out there, and just started shooting. A mass casualty event with kids. So, all these Star Trek, Star Wars fantasy solutions, they're great. But let's live in reality, and let's come up with as many. Let's throw all the wild things against the board, and see what we can come up with. Short term, middle term, long term. I admit I don't know what the magic solution is, and I also admit my own triggering of shit like this, because I have children, both in college and in grade school, like many of us.
I just wondered, I appreciate you, Brian, so very much. You're one of my favorites when it's the male voices that I hear. And sometimes I hear you in my head, which is weird, strange. But I gave you guys my solution. And I'm going to figure I'm giving you my solution. We don't need to do anything. Y'all don't even have to listen or care. But my solution, final word from me, or maybe not, but it's just to get rid of the guns.
Overpriced things I've ever seen sold repetitively is men's razors.
Clothes on and powdered wigs back in the day, and they were carrying around muskets. They had no clue that we were going to have this type of armory and people walking around blowing away children. They had no fucking idea that we were going to have the guns that could deliver those kind of rounds at one time. Go get a musket. Y'all want to go and sit in there, go get a musket. How about that? And go learn, like Jim and I said, go learn how to fight. Go take some karate classes or whatever you guys need. You softies, you weak ass men. Go do that and learn. And there are going to be some other advancements. You guys think it's just going to settle with what we got going on now? Those kinds of stuff. It's going to get worse. There's going to be better technology, better ways of killing. And if you guys are okay with that, so go have at it. At this point, I don't really give a damn.
Well, that goes to my point of, sorry, Mike, I promise this to be short. Just to reiterate what Lisa said, in my opinion, what hurt my heart was after Sandy Hook and nothing was done. And that really hit me like, well, shit, when this country and our elected officials got comfortable with kids being killed, that spoke a lot to me.
Yeah, that was when I realized that America loves guns more than kids. Also the Second Amendment, like everybody just glosses over the well-regulated militia part. Like I think that if you want to have a gun, you have to be in the National Guard, because the National Guard is the only officially recognized militia. So that you can only have a weapon if you're in the National Guard.
They should be okay with that, Trumpers, especially because they like the National Guard being in their city. So, you know.
You're pretty cool. How long does it take you to load a musket?
No, look, I'm from Kentucky. Don't pass me on the musket, though. All right? Let's go there. I got that skill. I'm not being here.
April's like, I just used the musket to hunt rabbit the other day.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, come on, this by the time these lazy, these are armchair military heroes. All these guys in here talking about their guns and whatever. They say they all masculine when they can go and get their gun and whatever. You know what I'm saying? But you bring them outside and say, put your dukes up. By the time you get outside, because you know how I am, you guys. I work on my arms, my upper body, try to keep it intact. Because if one of you weird ass clubhouse people come up to me, I'm gonna sock you in your fucking jaw with a lock in my hand. I'm not playing around. So if you so damn bad and you so big and bad, go learn how to fight and then meet us outside. But you're gonna go and grab your gun because you hiding behind it, the bullets or whatever. I don't have one. Meet me in less than hand-to-hand combat, but you don't want to do that.
Right. Are you ready for some breaking news from General Milley?
Do it.
All right, this is from yesterday. This is General Milley speaking.
Breaking news, Trump gave the order, but for the first time, the military's directive to use the military against immigrants. Standing firm, Milley reportedly told the president, I will not use the U.S. Army to carry out injustice. If you cross this line, you'll be facing me. His words, captured in real time, have triggered a political firestorm. Trump's attempt to invoke fear through military force as constitution, and that if these abuses continued, the military would take steps to protect the country from the inside. It's rare, almost unheard of, for a general to publicly stand up to a president, but this moment made one thing clear. No army, no weapons, no power can defeat his actions united around justice. For more updates.
And they said former President Trump, too. That's
That whole.
The comments are from the last 12 hours. That's what I checked.
Yeah, the comments they could be commenting on it now, but it's an old video that they're commenting on. So,
Okay, let me check it.
That's definitely
Jeremy, are you aware that soldiers pulled out of Union Station?
No, I didn't know
Are you
that.
aware why? No. This is
Just love music.
The reason they were there for the pizzas and the burgers, because that's all they were doing in Union Station.
I thought they were taking over Union Station.
No, the vets came out. The vets came out and challenged the actual soldiers.
I'm here to get my news from you, Point. So I don't know.
Thank you.
You gotta do what you're gonna do. I just share what I share.
I'll listen when you try to tell us. I'll listen when you try to tell us.
All I'm saying is don't bite Ellie's head off because she's giving you some even further.
Anybody's head off.
No, I don't feel like my head was that. I apologize.
Nobody's biting your head off. Don't listen to Point. You know we love the hell out of you. Don't listen to that shit. I love you like I love cake, and I love some goddamn cake.
I wasn't.
So, you know that. You know that.
I do. I'm just trying to keep us on breaking news because I think that's what, how much can we talk about this shooting? I mean, it's been going on 24/7 and where I'm living right now with people that I know and kids. So I'm just looking to see what else is happening that's important.
Hey, I need some type of cake.
I like all kind of cake.
Oh, damn.
Is this something wrong? Am I getting ready to get chastised for loving cake?
No, not at all.
I love you too. I love you too. I love everybody. I might not sound like it, but I love everybody. And I appreciate you guys all the time. Everything you have to offer. Even though I don't agree. That's my wife. Even though I don't agree all the time, it's not personal. I love you guys, and that's why I love ruffling it up, ruffling your feathers, because we are all different, but we also are so much the same. So hugs and kisses. Let me go take care of some patients, and I'll be listening.
Listen,
Thank
Sister
you,
Mike,
guys.
you better go get all your shots now while you can, because RFK can diagnose children just by looking at their face. And you don't need no more vaccination. Continue that.
Boy, he should, instead of going to law school, he should have went to medical school.
Hello?
You think knowing medical science would be a free way?
He is an MD.
And I
I
think,
love it.
I think you have to now get a prescription from your doctor to get a COVID vaccine if you're under 65. I think that's the new rule.
Yes.
Well, I'm high risk, so I'll get it. They already told me to get my ass over there and get my pneumonia shot and this shot and that shot.
I know, April, I got to get the shingles and pneumonia. I'm like, damn.
Shingles is not bad. I had no problem. It wasn't hard to just go for two. It's two different ones. I can't remember the timeline between them, but it's not too long.
So sorry for us old folks talking.
Yeah, so old folks talking our old folks' selves. You young ones are out here spreading the plague every other damn day. So now.
Natural medicine for shingles, but
No ma'am. No sir, no ma'am. No,
Y'all finished showing off for the day? Just let me know. Y'all finished showing off?
I just got here, first lady, to show off.
Me too.
You showed off as soon as you got in there. So. Yeah.
I knew you
So
were
you
going to put the
finished?
hammer down. I am finished.
No, you're not.
There is a vaccine for shingles. That's not True Point. It's called attenuated shingles.
Ew.
Well, I don't know about for the COVID, but
Don't you gotta be old to get the shingles?
No, you gotta get it at 50, and he's 50.
You can get shingles at any time. It's just
Yeah, you're supposed to get the vaccine at 50, and that's why he's saying that, because he's 50 years old.
I forgot.
Calling people old.
Somebody else said it. I didn't say it. So it's not a y'all. It's
Any
somebody.
age can catch the shingles, can get the shingles.
Oh, so say that then.
Chicken pox is where you would get the shingles. So before people got vaccines for chicken pox, which man, y'all so lucky. We just got the chicken pox, and then because of that, later on in life, you get the shingles, possibly get the shingles. So
You have it dormant in your system if you've had chicken pox, which older people now, when we were younger, we did. Our parents had the stupid chicken pox parties where you would get it and they'd take you around kids that didn't have it, so everybody
Yeah, I had the chicken pox, and I'm not that old.
So,
Yeah.
girl, what? Now I gotta get that.
Yeah, I had chicken pox too.
Yeah, you need, when you 50, not now. You still
April said you can get it
You
anytime.
can.
Yeah, but they're not giving shingles until you're 50. Then I give it the shot.
You're
So let me get this straight.
Got a few years.
I gotta go get my butt played in at the doctor. I gotta go get a shingles.
Remind me.
Yo, you sound like what my husband said. He was like, they want to check my prostate, then they want to do this, then they want to do that. It's too much.
Listen, just
And I heard that they can do it like in a different way. I don't want to do that.
listen. At least you don't have.
Go in there and get the tissue out.
Make sure you ain't got no polyps in there.
You're awake from the past man. Sorry.
No, they're gonna put you to sleep, just.
You know they don't put you to sleep for no pap smear.
No, I'm saying him.
You ain't gonna get pap smears.
No, for your colonoscopy.
Oh, God, everybody's so
Jesus.
Okay.
I said counselor stuff.
No, April said that.
Hold on. Let's get this straight.
No, you get it straight.
Yeah, because you're trying to scare people to get anybody for first lady. I know what it is. Ladies get pap smears, and they have to be cranked open. They are awake during that. Men, when they play with our butt, is the way you described it. They put us to sleep.
They put you to sleep to check your prostate?
No, he's saying for colonoscopy.
Yeah, colonoscopy.
That's not for men, that's for everybody.
But for a colonoscopy, you can do it a different way.
I used to be like you. Every room I gotta get in there.
She has to have a little bit of drama every day, right, Royal?
No, I mean, so look. I mean, what do you expect? I mean, she's young and she gets bored and she, wants to get drama with me.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm old, I'm not.
Feels more. We always do have The crazy rooms. The crazy rooms.
Yeah, let's not get into intimacy on Clubhouse today.
Yeah.
It doesn't bode well for some people.
Yeah, I can't believe BB called me a piece of shit. He was like, Sarah, you're a piece of shit. And I was like, what's wrong with you, man?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Well, Sarah, I'd say count yourself lucky. It's unfortunate. It's bad.
You're a piece of shit, but I love you to death.
My God.
You're called a piece of shit twice on the side now. What's better than
The only thing that annoys me is that the emojis, you have to click on someone else. You can't just have an emoji yourself.
I know. That bugged me too.
Didn't that used to be a thing?
No, that's new.
Used to, when you clicked on the emojis, they were on you.
Yeah.
But now you have to click on somebody else to emoji.
Yeah, so you have to react to someone in a sense. You can't just do it.
What about the sound effects? Can you still make the sound effects?
Yeah, you make that by holding down yourself, and then they're there.
Gotcha, okay. So it's the same, yeah, okay, that's the same. Well, I mean, that emoji's fine, I don't care about that, but.
Personally, I think the best feature is the GIFs.
Yeah, I like the gifts.
Yeah, no, the gifts are pretty sick.
I find myself wanting the exclamation points that we used to have. I don't have them anymore. Like when you're shocked by something.
Yes.
The eyeballs one I have.
Isn't that on when you click on someone else? Let's see. No. So no. Ewan, when I gave you that masking tape the other night for the front door, where did you put it?
And I mean, sad.
I did say that.
Send a million
I said, y'all gotta get this out. You gotta get it out. It's gotta go.
When it's time to deliver, I'm here for my cesarean section. I'm not doing that.
Whatever you
Yo, that's how my aunt is. She does not do vaginal delivery. Everything is C-section. She's like, nope.
I'm like squishing my butt cheeks together while we talk.
labor pains. Just put the baby out.
Trying to labor it for 6 hours and then they give you an emergency.
How does it feel? Like,
Well, I labored for 15 hours and then I had a C-section.
you know, without Mel, I would have got better and I would have came back there and squared up with everybody. So y'all motherfuckers let me go.
My best delivery was my 1 and my number 4.
My husband was there.
Ooh, so you did that 24 times?
On my face. Yeah.
I had 1 C-section, 3 vaginals.
Those C-sections.
That number 3, bro.
I mean, not that I know.
I want my homegirl to have her baby and
Nah,
the daddy didn't like show up or whatever, so I was in there, passed right out. When they lifted them legs up, I passed out. Passed out. Hit the floor. Wore my, I had a Cardi B knot on my head. Sure did.
Why did you pass out?
Because as soon as they
You
lifted
see
it up,
that placenta and those lips and
and it was like the head, it was like coming out, and he said, let me tell you, I think he said it's about to it was about to split, because sometimes and that's all I remember.
No, she cut me. I had an episiotomy.
Yeah, there's some people that don't get cut prior to a tear. Yo, there's been chicks, they tear from the pussy to the ass.
But that's what they were saying. They have to lube a lot.
I was like a 12
Y'all are excited about this
Yeah.
stuff.
It's pretty something. Because listen, I was there and I had to keep a straight face the whole damn time because goodness gracious, I really wanted to make that scrunchy face. I couldn't because I wanted to make sure my wife.
Yeah, you better not.
Oh man.
I was you like, don't be making no faces about my shit.
I was trying to start projecting.
That was me to my mom. I was a 32-hour labor and I weighed 13 pounds.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
You owe her.
You wouldn't have even one of us had to make this. One of us
And then for y'all to do it and then go back and do it again is crazy.
Yo, the crazy thing is after you do it, you like, yo, I'm never gonna do this again. And then you find yourself not doing it again. And
Well,
like,
there's
it's
releases drugs to make it seem like it's less painful after the fact.
Women are the most scared people it is. We do this shit. That's what it is.
But that's the thing, when you pregnant, you know that baby gotta come out no matter how it comes out, that baby gotta come out. You're ready and it gotta happen now. Like, fuck.
My kids are 10 years apart, so it wasn't like I was like, yeah, let's do this tomorrow.
Oh, I have gaps too. I have a 6-year gap, then I have a 9-year gap.
Yeah, all that contemplation time is this.
I had 9 years
Because I couldn't do no abortion. I wasn't going to do no abortion.
You know, there's implants, there's all sorts of stuff that, you know.
My
Some
first
people
one
get
was
pregnant on birth control, dear.
Yeah, that's true.
48 hours of labor,
Girl,
4 hours.
God bless you.
And then I burst a hole in my lung from pushing. And I got pregnant 2.5
You did what?
What did you get burst? I gave
Get
you.
out of here.
following.
I think she's not 70s, guys.
And please tell me you were one and done. Please tell me after 48 hours of birth, you only gave birth once.
This is following 9 months of hyperemesis where I threw up all day. No, what happened was 2 years later, I was sitting in the kitchen and our little 18-month-old was sitting in her high chair and she was very close to her daddy. She was always daddy's girl. And she looked at him and she crooked her little finger. She wanted some milk and she said, "Hey, Gare." And I said to myself, "No, we're not doing this. There's not going to be 3 of us. There's no hey, Gare." And I decided to have a second child. And I have the same hyperemesis. So those who are medically aware, that means I was in the hospital on IVs 6 or 8 times with both of them. The labor with him was 36 hours, and it was a better pregnancy because my first pregnancy was an all-male OBGYN, and they were telling me,
I like my doctor too.
oh, mine was horrible. They were like, "You're trying to throw up the baby." I was so excited to be pregnant. I wanted nothing of this. And I did do it a second time. And yeah, I did. Going through childbirth is a huge thing. And for years I did workshops for expectant mothers about the emotional changes of pregnancy. That's when my first book came out. And one of the things I always told them was, do not forget about your labor and delivery, because I know that's what they used to tell women. Oh, just forget about it. You won't remember it. Well, I remember all of it, and I think it's something women should remember because it's such.
My child is 15. I think I still got postpartum.
And also about the throwing up, that's another fucking thing.
Yeah, that's terrible. They'll get that.
Yeah, but
I have a question now. I have a question. A male question. So, have you ever had a flashback of that pregnancy and then, like, for some reason, like, slip and slap your child because of that? Like, did that ever happen?
There have been points in raising them. They're now 41 and 43. There have been times when I felt like saying, you little shit, you have no fucking idea what it took to bring you here. But it wouldn't do any good.
That's why the urge to slap the shit out of them when they disrespect you wells up. So you don't, the hand is across the face before you even contemplate carrying on with it. My first son was born, both of them were born in a military hospital, but the first one was an experiment because every fucking body and their mother was crowded into my room while I was laboring and while I was delivering. The people who were training, I don't know how many goddamn people.
Everybody was saying your poom poom. Okay.
I didn't give a shit. I did not.
I know you don't care.
Get this shit out.
When you're in pain, you don't. Everybody want to be like, oh my God, they're gonna see my. They're gonna see me down there. When you in fucking pain, you kicking everything off, and you got your shit all wide open, and you don't give a fuck who sees you.
He had the quarter in his neck, and they were like hands in there trying to pull him out. So, okay, listen, take a tape measure and get to 10 centimeters, make that into a circle, and that's how big the shit got to get, okay? Mm-hmm. This is what we go through, and then we get ungrateful children, okay? This is how, like I said, Brian would have been dropped off. Oh, no. Where'd he go? He would have been dropped off at the orphanage as soon as we got out to hospital because 13 pounds and 28 hours of labor.
Oh, that was Michael.
Michael.
I can't get over that. I can't get over that. We can't go on and have a relationship after that.
My mom said it was smooth. I was like 9 pounds. But she said she went in at 8 o'clock because she was, and I was there about 6 feet.
Yeah, my mom said I was smooth.
She said it was like going to work. But she had a C-section or whatever. She said that's where I got that from. She said she showed up and said, here for my C-section.
And the comment in the chat is right. Men should have no say because we the ones have to go in there and actually have another person pull out our body, okay? Shit, y'all get some say, but keep your shit wrapped up or stay away.
I had a pregnant
Let me tell you, if I was a millionaire, I would have multiple kids, more than 4. Yeah, I would have a lot of kids.
I have 2 female, 2 24.
Come out here, I would have like 10, 12. Yeah, take those. Yeah, Christ.
What if y'all could be like dogs and have
Don't worry, y'all gonna get that.
7 at a time? I'm for that.
Listen, Joseph.
Like long shebang.
Let me say this and I'm gonna be quiet. This will be real quick. My last child, still, even to this day, I'm getting better. But for a long time, I had PTSD where when I saw other pregnant women, I would be like, ew, like, can I do that? Seriously, I could not fix my face. It was just like, ew, that is so gross for years. And I promise you, I postpartum, I felt like that lasted for, I don't think it kicked in until maybe like 24 months later. But then I felt like it didn't leave for like 6 years. I'm trying to tell you.
What does that mean?
Which part? Postpartum,
Like, what is that?
depression,
What is that like?
yeah,
It's terrible.
pregnancy depression.
It happens. It's different for everybody. So if she explains it to you, somebody else explains it a little different. There's people that don't want to hold their babies or don't even care for their babies.
Look, I had it for 12 hours.
everybody's
I
different.
know I had it for 12 hours. I went home because we lived in Georgia, and this was in July, in a trailer. It's fucking hot as hell. My husband at the time went and got a window unit air conditioner because the other had kicked out. It was over. It was done. We rented a trailer. I went home. I left my baby with my friends and my husband down the street. I just got in the car, didn't tell them shit. Went home. My parents had been visiting. I had left before that time. I went home. I put my 38 on the counter, okay, because that was the neighborhood we lived in. And I cleaned my house from top to bottom the first day out of the hospital. The next day, I couldn't walk. I regretted life at that point. But I had it. I was like, if somebody had come through my door, other than somebody I was related to or friends with, they would have been going out, been carried out because I had my 38 ready, girl. I'm serious. I'd be like, I'm done. It would have been insanity.
That's how lady that I used to live next door to, when I was in Texas, she had a baby, and she was the sweetest person. And after she had the baby, like, she just used to be doing weird stuff. Like, I would see her holding the baby, no back support, the baby just like flinging around. I used to be like, something wrong with her.
That's wild.
Yeah, I think it went bad for her, and then she ended up getting put out of the like place. I don't know what happened after that, but I remember thinking like, damn, like it was such a like nice pregnancy, and then it just went bad, and she just would be looking at the baby like she was hungry.
There's women who actually kill their children because of postpartum. It's so severe. Like Janelle said, it's on a spectrum again, like many things. It can be really bad or not so much.
Yeah, I think I had like minor postpartum with baby number 3. Probably lasted a few months, but I got over it. Like I was like, get your shit together.
That's how animals be though. My friend kept leaving me with his cat kept bringing me his kittens, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" He was like, "Oh, she tired. She wants you to take care of it." I was like,
Yeah, but look at that. Mom can't do that shit.
I think it's a kid. I'm curious.
Yeah, but they're like the ones that don't have their husbands or don't have baby father there. They just with that baby by themselves, baby crying, baby with colic, and
Do the dads be good with them? With the dads?
No, I ain't gonna lie. Both my baby daddies is beautiful. I was the one went back.
Yeah, I think if they present,
I was at work.
Yeah, I think the ones that are present, yeah, but the ones that are not there, I don't know.
Both of mine were pretty good dads, especially when they were small. I was surprised, but yeah.
When it comes to my newborns, I am like an animal when they have their puppies. I don't want nobody carrying my newborn. So I never allowed the dads to really do anything with them.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm not so.
So I'm literally like, I would compare it to the animals. The way they are when the dad tries to come around a puppy, that's the way I was. So I used to be fucking exhausted, and I used to still just be there pumping and holding her.
My dog, I would never recommend her to be another. They supposed to keep them for like 8 weeks at like 5 to 6 weeks. She just stopped. She stopped feeding them. She stopped doing. I had to get them so I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? She'll like kind of growl at them like toward the end, like when they'll come near her, like, girl, get away from me. And about her food, when they're trying to come near her, I'm like, you gonna fuck the kid up like that? So I don't know. Maybe she had fault. Maybe they're coming in animal form too, because she wasn't with it. She didn't want to be no mom. Oh, is Lisa there? Oh, she's still with patients, right? Well, what is 3.560 kilograms? What is that?
What's going on?
Measuring cocaine?
Yeah, it's cocaine. Come on now. Yeah.
We don't know what the hell you talking about. You just come out of nowhere. Lisa here.
Just give me a.
I want to know about 3.5 ounces. What?
3.56 kilo.
It's probably about 5 or 15, depending on the.
It's like 7, 8.
Thank you, Brian. You read my mind.
You said 7, 8 pounds?
You're trying to convert it to pounds? Like 7 or 8 pounds.
Who's 7 or
Okay.
8 pounds?
That was my son when he was born.
Oh, okay. I was 7'15".
They gave your baby to you in ounces?
Yeah, kilos. Yeah, kilos.
Yeah, that's crazy. When you was born? Like, you was born in America?
Yeah, what the fuck?
No, but she was acting up.
Nobody talking about kilos. What's going on?
Yeah.
That's the way they set it on the scale. I don't know.
Yeah, they measure both.
I looked right at the screen while they was doing what they was doing. I would look to the side. I saw pounds and ounces.
Yeah, I mean, I memorialized everything, so I took the pictures of him on the scale and everything.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking at.
I needed oxygen because
Not treated oxygen.
I'm dead ass serious.
Because you was about to pass out?
Yeah, I didn't think of so. All 3 of my sons were C-sections, but my first one, never experienced or whatever. And
you said that you had a C-section. What's that?
no, I said all 3 of my sons, their mothers, C-sections. No,
Okay.
for me as a dad, the nurse said, hey, you know what? When we come and get you, you need to go right at that point. So, I went into the delivery room. I didn't know if I was in a delivery room or an ice locker. It's like fucking cold.
Yeah, like an ice box.
Yeah, and they had my
Naked.
laying there, and they just had like this sheet, like
Butt-ass naked with a sheet in front of you.
Yeah,
Okay,
I just
grow up. Can we hurry up with this story?
That's how they do C-section.
I know, and that's why I'm having flashbacks. Literally, I'm getting hot.
having a hot foot. I'm just saying, as a guy, I have no qualm because I just kept looking at her. I'm not good with blood anyway.
What's her? She left?
I'm looking. She actually left. Wow. But no, they told me when they pulled my son out and took him over to the little weigh scale thing, it looked like he was at the deli. When I stood up, like I noticed while they was doing it, like one of the clips on the bed sheet or whatever they had blocking her lower off, it had dropped and nobody clipped it back up. So I just kept looking at her closer.
Oh,
and on my periphery, I saw this bloodied arm from one of the doctors. And so the nurse said, "All right, you ready, Mr. Young?" And I stood up and I consciously looked up at the ceiling so I wouldn't look, down towards her, stomach where the C-section was. And then when I looked down, I looked right at the spot on the floor where there was blood and like some cloth. I always thought I stood there for a couple of seconds, but apparently it was longer because two of the nurses had grabbed me on both sides and had to walk me over and give me one of those little oxygen things. Yeah, that shit.
Yeah, bro. You ain't supposed to be looking on the other side of the sheet, bro.
Like I said, this shit
I'm
is.
telling y'all right now, if y'all gonna knock it up, right, y'all gonna have to take blood, because whether it's a C-section or not, there's gonna be some blood, y'all.
Yeah.
And especially when the doctor wanna make fucking jokes like, "Oh, you have a redhead." I wanted to fucking slap the shit out of him saying that. Yo, but it's gonna be blood. I'm sorry to tell you.
My thing, I kept hearing all this metal clanking while I'm looking at, my son's mother. I was like, are y'all delivering my son or putting in a small block V8? Because that's a lot of, tools that y'all got over there. And I'm like, dude, hearing the clank, clank. I'm like, what are y'all cutting?
Yeah, bro. They cut it up multiple layers of her stomach before they pull the baby out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the experience of both sides, and I'll take a vaginal over a C-section any day. And that's just me.
I got better with my other two. But yeah, go ahead, man.
Who says that?
I said even with the split, because they gotta do that botch ass sewn up again. I've heard all the stories.
Yeah, let me tell you, I'm not even gonna lie. Jamaica Hospital, they did an amazing C-section. I'm talking about the scar, everything. Beautiful. You don't even see that shit. No, like, I guess I just heal good. But he also did his thing, with the stitching. But it's just the after pain. Like, you gotta be on these drugs because of the pain. It's just like, you're not enjoying the baby. You don't have the same bonding with your spouse through a C-section versus a vaginal. So I'll prefer a vaginal. And that's why you see after my C-section, I went vaginal again, which is called the VBAC, for anyone that doesn't know. I ended up doing a VBAC because I wanted to experience that with my current husband. Because his daughter was the first one with the C-section, so we never experienced vaginal. So that's why my third and my fourth is vaginal.
There's something about that I feel like granted, as a dad, I have no idea, from a woman's standpoint, but like when we found out like that she was gonna have to have a C-section, I kind of felt like, I don't know, like cheated from the experience of like, waking up at 0 dark 30. Oh my God, my water broke. Let's get to the hospital. Let's go 30. And it was like, so you're about 8.5 months. Let's schedule your pregnancy for Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Is that good for you? And I'm like, what? Like, oh, all right. I guess we're doing it Tuesday at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
And something missing. One of my boys, he had that, like him and his girl, it was like 3:30 in the morning. He's dead ass asleep. And he said she was fighting it because she was in the bathroom just going, oh, no. And he kind of woke up here and just whimpering like, what the hell's going on? Did your water break? And he said, his girl was like, no, that's not water. I just spilled my drink. It's like, what? Like she it's her first pregnancy and she totally did not like come to that conclusion that the baby eventually has to come out. But anyway, yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know something? They try to make my sister C-section, right?
Yeah.
And my sister was like, no. And my niece came out in 7 minutes. I mean, that was her second child, but my niece came out in 7 minutes.
Kicking her.
They're just sitting there trying to make more money. That's what it was.
No, of course. Let me tell you something. For my C-section, she definitely could have came out vaginally. She is my smallest baby, smallest head. I was already 6 centimeters dilated. She was able to, I understand heart rate is dropping, but guess what? With my 3rd and 4th pregnancy, the heart rate was dropping also, and I delivered that vaginally. But I get it. The doctor's he's about to go home. His shift is about to end. Yo, let's get this surgery. Let's get this surgery money real quick. Send this bitch to the back and let's cut her up. Once again, I believe she could have came vaginally. I didn't need that C-section. But, you gotta let people do what they do.
Somebody call 911. I can't breathe.
Someone, please.
Traumatizing me today.
Why is y'all traumatized? You already got kids. You don't know about labor delivery. What you mean?
We hyper-focused on C-sections and what is y'all doing?
Oh, no. I was just saying that I prefer vaginal over C-section. That's it.
Oh, God. My C-section was not planned.
You had a C-section for 1 and 2? Or just
I had been in labor all day long, and then it was 8:30, 9:30 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, your daughter, she's down there. You've dilated 8 centimeters, but she just won't come out. And I started crying. Like, I was crying. I was like, I don't want to see C-section, please. And they was like, okay, we're going to get the midwife to come in here, and they're going to do some positions with you. They put me in a pretzel. They had my leg all up at one end of the place. They tilted the bed upside down. And mind you, I had to get a surcharge because she was coming out early. So now it's time for her to come out. She didn't want to come out. And after like an hour and 45 minutes of them trying to do all these positions and she ain't move, it was like, yeah, we're going to have to put you in C-section.
How much did she weigh?
8 pounds, 14 ounces.
Yeah, that wasn't coming out. There was a chance that even if you would have fully dilated to 10, she was still not coming through your birth canal. It was not going to happen. Because with the third one, she was 7'10".
This conversation.
The third, she was 7'10". They said if she was 8 pounds, she was not coming out. She was not.
I had my son. He was 8 pounds, 4 ounces.
And he came out.
And he came out vaginal. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you had a vaginal then a C-section like me. Vaginal C-section.
Yeah.
Even my labor when I was 15, beautiful. Best labor in the world. Another Jamaica hospital labor. I'm talking about I was there for 23 hours and 38 minutes. Didn't feel no pain. I never knew what labor pains was with my first pregnancy. Because I didn't feel any pain. I took out epidural. I was good, numbed. I pushed him out 30 minutes.
Be something in the news. It's gotta be.
I pushed him out in 30 minutes. He was 7'12".
Give us breaking news first.
Is
there new ice cream shop, a new restaurant open? What happened?
Breaking news. Sorry,
I don't know. God, please bless First Lady with another baby. Thank you.
How did you do that? Blasphemy. I'm about to start crying again. Don't you ever say that. That is curse.
So, all right, breaking news. So, they about to really go in on the Argentinian president. They're throwing shit at him. They're fucking about to whoop his ass. Right? These Argentinian people are not fucking playing games. Apparently, he cut some benefits for some folks, and they're pissed. They took to the streets and they're revolting in Argentina. So I don't know. I'm trying to look for the article now, but I'm just jumped back in the car. Oh, and I'm driving around. So I don't know if anyone wants to look that up. Do we care about Argentina or no?
What they gonna do with Argentina?
Don't cry for me, Argentina. I was reading this article. So, where did I just see it? There's protests, corruption scandal and protests. Javier Milei faces his toughest week. Click on it. Sorry, my service is really slow. Out here in his toughest week in Argentina, and Argentine politics, a few weeks have been as tumultuous for a president as the one Javier Milei has just endured. His popularity, which until a few months ago seemed unshakable among the sectors that lifted his power, is facing rapid erosion amid corruption allegations, financial scandals, massive protests, and election climate fraught with uncertainty. Less than 2 weeks before the provincial elections on September 7th, and with eyes set on the midterm legislative elections on October 26th, the Libertarian government finds itself under unprecedented pressure. The epicenter of the political storm carries the Milei surname, though it is not only the president who is directly implicated, but also his sister and right-hand woman, Karina Milei, currently Secretary General of the Presidency. Audio recordings released by the streaming channel Carnival place an influential official at the center of an alleged bribery scheme tied to the management of the National Disability Agency. So these cases add to the ongoing investigations against the president himself, such as the cryptocurrency scandal that has been under judicial scrutiny for 6 months, including one case moving forward against the Argentine president in the United States. Interesting. Didn't the Trump admin cite Argentina like plenty of times? Was it Argentina or Chile? I can't remember. Anyway, hey Gemini.
Hey, what up,
Right,
yo?
I'll put the.
How you
I'll
doing?
link the story at the
Gemini's
top.
here. OMG, it's gonna rain in August.
I'll just throw the link in the chat.
All right, so something's going on with something, but the CNN said that they agree with the mayor. I want to hear this clip.
Wait, is she breaking up or is it?
Am I?
No, you
Am I
good.
breaking?
You good. Play it.
All right, let me see.
My Patty puts it on top. I don't know what's that. New York Times article, I guess. Whatever you want from me.
I'm lost in prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school. They were in a church. These are kids that should be learning with their friends. They should be playing on the playground. They should be able to go to school or church in peace without the fear or risk of violence, and their parents should have the same kind of assurance. These are the sort of basic assurances that every family should have, every step of the day, regardless of where they are in our country.
I mean, he's expressing something that I know you feel and most people feel, which is a combination of sadness, but raw rage. That's right. Forget about thoughts and prayers. These kids were literally praying when they were running through a church window.
The rest of it is just what's name. It says.
This is like music on the side.
Authorities said at least 2 children are dead and more than a dozen were injured. Obviously, we know that Wednesday after a shooter opened fire during a mass. Catholic Church, other liberal figures also blasted prayer in the aftermath of shooting, including MSNBC Jen Bowski, who said prayer is not freaking enough. Prayers does not end school shootings. Prayers do not make parents feel safe sending their kids to school. Y'all disagree with that? I think that's something to agree with. Prayers isn't enough. Y'all got a problem with that?
It's not enough.
That's not enough.
It's not going to stop everything.
No, I mean, that's the start of it. You start praying to figure out a solution. So that your mind can open up and clear the thoughts for some kind of solution to this problem. But everybody keeps saying, well, it's not going to work, and nobody's trying any damn thing. So then we just keep twiddling our thumbs year after year after year after year.
If we could spend $1 million a day on putting the National Guard over in D.C., we can figure out something for the schools. We could have some staff that are dedicated.
Well, first of all, a huge percentage of this country doesn't even think that school shootings are a problem. Right? They don't even acknowledge it. They're like, well, this is, the cost of kids going to school. It's like, you don't really hear a peep from the Republicans. So that's why I'm like, so the first step is that this is a problem, right? People need to accept it as a problem in order to move forward.
Stop.
I'm trying to train it. I don't do that wrong. If it's it shouldn't take it shouldn't take something like this happening to people to be alarmed. You know what I mean? Like, it's like people don't care, or people don't respond more forcefully until the shit impacts them directly. And it shouldn't take our elected officials. It shouldn't take our fellow citizens having this impact them on a personal level, whether it's their child or at their school, if they're our teacher. It shouldn't get to that point in order for people to act, and not doing anything that cannot stand. Do something.
So let me ask you a quick question. Gemini, you brought up the National Guard and how much you're spending, right? So would y'all be opposed to the National Guard actually bordering the school systems?
I would, only because their primary function is not to shoot and terminate a threat when dealing with civilians. You need somebody that's dedicated to that. Like, this is my job. I see you. I recognize the threat. I terminate the threat. Civilian or otherwise, it don't fucking matter. You need somebody that is their MO. That's their focus, right? Not somebody that's standing in doing a job that is not typically allocated to them.
All right, well, what would be equivalent to National Guard if it's not National Guard? What would be equivalent if they don't have the power?
Security company that's dedicated to the school system, flat out. Armed, the same way like I have armed security when I do certain things, right? So, I mean, come on, like, we have armed companies. We just need to hire. That's all.
I've mentioned, I don't know, it was an hour or so ago, or when Katrina and water or mainly water, but they were spitballing some ideas. Yeah, my opinion, again, just my opinion, is that the notion that there is one singular, solution, I think needs to be greatly diminished. Could it be a series or multiple things, whether it's stricter gun laws, or whether it's holding our elected officials accountable, bulletproof glass for the windows at schools, the notion that, okay, this one thing will solve all the ills of school shootings and mass casualty events. To me, that's what kind of grates on my nerves. Could it be a series of good ideas enacted?
Not the switch everything up, but just out of curiosity, did y'all speak about Russia attacking Ukraine overnight and unleashing over 600 air weapons? The second largest attack, and it ended up with I forget how many deaths, I think 27, and like 4 kids. Have y'all discussed that or no?
No, that happened last night.
Yep. They don't give a fuck. He came and shook Trump's hand. It did went crazy. Like, he don't give a fuck about
Well, Trump already kind of excused it, though, because Trump was like, well, you know, they're going to fight until the peace is actually done. He literally said that.
He did. Trump made a comment about it. He's made a statement. He said he's very disappointed.
Oh, wow. That's a way to get him, Trump. Get him blue.
Disappointed. Finger wag, you know. So meeting with Russia, I'm just curious, like what did that accomplish? If they just launched the second largest airstrike they ever launched on the Ukraine? How did that, like, what did we accomplish?
It distracted us from Epstein for a day or two.
That's the worst part about the
I'm gonna say this real quick. We get right back to it because I still think that Ukraine is crazy. But there is a gentleman. There's this bitch ass dude on the app called Hollywood Prince, and I just he got outed on the stage I was on a while back, and now he's coming back around trying to be around. He was outed in the chat when I was on stage for somebody in the chat. They were like, I was monitoring this other stage, and they were like, y'all gonna really lit this pedo on the stage? I'm like, you can't be saying people are pedos without proof. Like, that's not cool. Like, if you got some proof, then we can go ahead and address that. And then I was like, who are you talking about? They're like, Hollywood. So he was next to me on stage. I'm like, hey, come off the mic, bro. They accusing you of that, and I need to hear your side. He's like, well, I didn't know she was. Okay. All right. Immediately, I'm already on his head. Coming to find out when the conversation was finished before I pulled him out of the room, he had been charged with sex trafficking 2 minors on 2 different occasions, and he is a convicted pedophile. Not only is that, he's convicted temp and a convicted pedophile. So y'all see him around because he's back trying to come on the app. His name is Hollywood Prince. He knows how to present, like he's articulate, but he's a fucking pedo. But anyway, we can get back to Ukraine.
What's his ethnicity?
Unfortunately, black. And he out here in LA.
Whose mic is open?
Roberts.
Yo, Kwame, I ain't know my speakers off. But what up, man? I haven't seen you in a while. You good?
Yeah, you good, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, man. That distraction tactic was so embarrassing. Not only did it not distract me, but Putin went and played him once again. It is absolutely embarrassing that a man who you rolled out the red carpet had your military bow to him to lay that red carpet, have jets fly overhead and all of that, and then this man goes back and continues. Continue. Increases his bombing, and on top of that, destroys an American company over there as well. What a freaking, excuse my language, ladies. What a pussy. Like this is ridiculous. And then we have to.
Well, who's the pussy?
Trump.
Oh, I just wanted to make sure.
So and then check this out. Then on top of that, you gather your cabinet around you so that they can shower you with accolades and stroke your ego. This is literally sick. This is sick shit that we're looking at. And we need to call it. And I've already said it. I'm calling it. I don't need any other kind of experts to say anything. We live under an authoritarian regime that is run by the MAGA Party. The MAGA Party is an offshoot to the Republican Party. They came into power and they run this country. End of story.
Yeah, your debate is turning out to be quite
And his debate was on point. He did well. He could have did better, but his points were on point. Right? Like there's no question about it. Yeah, for sure. He definitely is yearning to be an authoritarian. He wants to be a dictator, but he has to settle for being an authoritarian that can manipulate our justice system, our legal system, in whatever way, in our constitution, in whatever way he can. But there's no question about what his ambitions are. Like he's very, very fucking clear about that shit. And on top of that, he doesn't have the respect of other world leaders. They don't fuck with him like that. They don't care about what they tell him. They will come over here, receive the red carpet treatment, go over there and do whatever the fuck they want. He is not respected. They know that he can be manipulated. They know that. I feel like Putin has to have some type of leverage when it comes to Trump. Like it always seems like he's bending the knee. Like he's always giving him the benefit of the doubt or granting him grace. Where I don't see why the fuck would you? Like he don't give a fuck. Every time that he says I'm done, he knows he about to smack the shit out of Ukraine again. He's like, okay, I got it. I understand. Don't sanction me. Okay, smack the fuck out of it. Fuck you think this is? Like he don't care. So why are we acting like he does? Like I'm confused. I don't get it.
Well, they believe the Russian propaganda that whatever Russia is saying, he believes it. I'm like, he doesn't believe what he's seeing. I'm sure he's getting footage of what's going on in Ukraine. He just doesn't believe it, or doesn't want to believe it because it's not convenient for him. I mean, his whole thing was America first, so it's like when something's not fitting into his narrative, he's gonna pretend it does fit into his narrative.
Well, he did say he's disappointed. No, don't you do that again, Russia. He said he's disappointed in 4 kids dying, 600. What does 600 air weapons look like overnight? Like they went crazy.
I'm still looking for that story.
I saw what came out on that. Drone warfare is big with the Ukraine-Russian war. That I'm learning more about. Project I'm working on, or I've been working on for the past, I don't know what, 2 months now, I think. But shit's relatively speaking cheap and deadly at the same time. But the fact that Putin and this orange this orange comb over just but as Robert says, as Robert and both of y'all said, I think how we've rolled out the red carpet and what did it accomplish. And I've consistently been putting in the chats when conversations were coming up, is distraction and deflection. And just, Epstein, he's trying to run away from that. These other issues are legitimate, with the assault on the assault on our cities now, like with him trying to bring military to Chicago. I will not be surprised because of this unfortunate incident in Minneapolis. Could that be an opening for him to do that? All the while letting Putin just continue to ride roughshod over Ukraine. And I think what Jim and I think you said, like the other world leaders, they see his playbook. They'll come over here and like smile in his face, but I feel in a broader sense, my concern is all the positive equity that America has built up over the years with the international community is being squandered, and now we're in the negative. And once, hopefully, he's out of office, how long will it take? What will it take? How long will it take for us to get that credibility back with other world leaders?
Brian, when's he gonna be out of office? I don't think he's gonna put out of office anytime.
Right.
I think to First Lady, you may bring up other points. To First Lady's question, she said she doesn't see the article, and I will put the link, but we know somebody doesn't put links. So, the title of the article is Russia launches second biggest air assault of Ukraine war, killing at least 21 and damaging EU building. The first paragraph says Kyiv, I think that's how you pronounce it, was bombarded overnight by Russia's second biggest aerial attack since its full-scale invasion of Ukraine, with at least 21 people killed, including 4 children, according to officials. Among those killed are children aged 2, 17, and 14. So that's a summary version of it.
I wasn't talking about like that. I was talking about so I could play it.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was an article. I never seen it.
Yeah, no, that's why I was like, I was searching for it so I could find something to play.
Oh, you're looking for audio snippet. Got you. My. You sound like the OG right there.
I'm talking about my uncle.
Put on your red dress.
My.
Somebody done blocked my uncle out of this space. Y'all some dirty people.
Y'all blocked, not the
No,
I'm glad I wasn't here, so y'all know it wasn't me.
Oh yeah, I think I blocked him by mistake. Don't worry, guys. I'm on the block.
My blacklist is long, but he is not.
I don't block people. That's what's wrong with the world. I like to fight, so I don't block.
Well, I will say this. Y'all gotta be careful with your digital imprint. Because, you know, when you have people in office that can go back and pull some stuff that you said previously before and talk about how great you are, and now you tell a different story, you know, people, they will hold true to what you originally said. Just saying. So, y'all be careful what y'all say on these tapes. Any objections?
No, if I said it to your face, I don't care. I said that. I leave footprints in business. I don't give a fuck.
But to your point, First Lady, one of my, I guess one of many, but raise eyebrows or just concern from reading, Project 2025's mandate for leadership. The sections in there where government or entities that are usually neutral and have no real oversight from the executive branch, he wants to take over. And it was spelled out in there specifically, could be concerning for any of us in here or on this app. The FCC, Federal Communications Commission, FTC, Federal Trade Commission, but the FCC, which controls or has oversight into, our digital apps like this, TV, radio stations and whatnot. They want that under the control of the president. And that's what one of the things that he's been, vying for. So, if you look at history and how Hitler came to power in Germany, it's some of the, it may not be the same, but sure is rhyming. Because it's a similar thing when you control the news media, when you control labor unions, when you can control countless other aspects of society, and then you start to, have your former national security advisor house raided by the FBI because you don't like him. So, be careful of that overreach. And yes,
that supersedes a focus of the party in a way that other presidents haven't had before. So if people think of it that way, evangelicals talk about him literally being like a savior, like bought by Jesus. So if you want to consider that too, I mean, Christians haven't talked about other presidents like that in the past. So there's a piece of it there that I see why people think that. I don't consider it a cult, but I see why people think that.
I don't see that, and I am evangelical. And I don't see that like in church. I don't know. Again, I get it's anecdotal. I see it more here on Clubhouse and maybe like on Twitter, like on social media. It's not necessarily what I observe like in my day-to-day real life when I talk to people. And I certainly understand why the term the MAGA cult rhetoric is used. I absolutely do understand it because I do think there is this strange unwillingness to acknowledge any fault of Trump's whatsoever, and I just think that's very obtuse. But
I think you make a very good point, Serendipity, but I actually think that the MAGA cult sort of like idea was created by people who were like a periphery of Donald Trump and basically tried to create this like public image of themselves. I know that obviously Donald Trump has a bit of like a personality cult thing going on, but I think like we have examples of like what happened on the set, right? Like with Ali Alexander and like
yeah, for sure.
And these people tried to create like a cult. They literally tried to create a cult on the set. Like that's literally happened.
The thing of it is, to that extent, like I used that exact terminology, the Ali cult, because it was just weird. It was like some kind of weird mind control thing, the way that so many conservatives glommed onto him instantaneously. And like, it was definitely very, very strange.
Yeah.
But, and like I said, I was guilty of using that exact terminology, the Ali Alexander cult, just because. So that's why I say, like, I understand particularly political opponents referring to MAGA as a MAGA cult. Y'all know Monica's diehard MAGA. And Monica herself, I feel like, is one of those people that has a hard time being critical of President Trump. Even the things that are obviously wrong, she will make excuses for. Whereas I've never aligned as quote unquote MAGA. I do support Trump. I voted for Trump. Like, I make no bones about that. But I also, like, I don't like Trump as a person. I never liked Trump as a person. It was really hard for me to even get on the Trump train. I think initially it was kind of like, well, he's our conservative ticket. So, like, get on the train.
The exact same.
Yeah. And like even with the second election, man, during the primaries, I so bad wanted to like DeSantis. Like, I really wanted to get on that train, but he just did not impress that much. Like, I kept wanting for him to impress me, and I kept thinking he'll get better. He just never really delivered. And honestly, I didn't like any of the other options that were running against Trump in the primary. So it kind of became a dead ringer that, I knew Trump was going to grab it. And even when he grabbed it, I wasn't like, oh, yippee, this is the greatest thing in the world. I know this is going to be an unpopular opinion because I know a lot of people don't like him, but when he picked J.D. Vance as his nominee, that's when I was like, yes, cha-ching, J.D. Vance really speaks to me. I love J.D. Vance. And so I felt a lot better about my vote just because of bringing J.D. Vance in. And I know a lot of people don't like him, but I do.
That's really interesting because I actually, I think J.D. Vance is fucking sick. I think that he actually could be the person that, continues this, movement after Trump was out of office.
And I think he would do it better.
Yeah.
I think he would do it better. Trump.
What do better look like? Better.
Trump is he's.
Is that Ron DeSantis behind Project 2025?
I don't know.
I don't even want to go on it. Like Project 2025 is like.
Hold on. I want to answer it. I want to answer Hakeem's question. Hakima, did you say something else?
No, but go ahead.
Yeah. Better. Okay. Trump is brash. He's unprofessional. Like, I think he needs to stay off fucking social media. I think he need not be on, global news saying they don't know what the fuck they're doing. I know a lot of people, they like that about his character. Those are not the things that I like about his character. I like that he's not a lifelong politician. That's one of the reasons why I also like J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance has only been in the Senate 2 years prior to taking on the VP ticket. And you know what else I like about J.D. Vance is the fact that J.D. Vance was once a never Trumper. And he came around to supporting Trump before he was chosen as the VP nominee, like a couple of years before he was chosen as the VP nominee. But what that says to me is that he's willing to learn. J.D. Vance also had some really, really harsh opinions on abortion. And when he realized that
happened. So I don't understand how that tracks. We haven't always had this epidemic of school shootings. So this is really, if you look at charts, this all really went crazy in 2018. It jumped from 1970 to 2017. We were tracking between 10 and let's say at the highest 60 school shootings a year. That includes suicides, domestic disputes, drive-by shootings. That includes everything. Okay, it's all lumped together. Then in 2018, it shot up. It doubled. It actually more than doubled. It went from 60 to 180, something like that. 119. Okay, and then it went up from there. 2024 was the highest at 350, I believe. Don't quote me on these, in the 300s. Okay, so this is this has really gone crazy the last 5 or so years. That it is I'm tired of people saying that you're more likely to get hit by a car. I don't give a fuck, y'all. This is unprecedented. This is scary. If you have children in school, this is scary. Okay, and I'm tired of people saying that my fears are unfounded because this is actually very, very scary situation that we're experiencing right now. And to say it's Christian related, my God, what a weird thing. We have more access to mental health than ever.
That's so weird. That's so weird.
Let her finish, and then you can respond to it.
All I'm saying is, sir, we are less religious than we've ever been. I don't understand. Why didn't we have an epidemic of school shootings back when we were extremely religious and kids were actually going to mass? People don't go to mass every week. They hardly ever go to mass. So I don't where's the correlation?
Yeah, that correlation definitely doesn't follow, and I agree. The only pushback I got to what you said, we do have access to more mental health, but we kind of do, but we kind of don't. It's like majority of the counties, that are majority of rural counties don't have a psychiatric nurse, let alone a psychiatrist. So we do, we kind of don't. And I think that one thing is, and this is a multifaceted thing. I'm not a 2A guy, right? I have a whole separate philosophy with respect to guns, and I'm not anti-gun, but you can be pro-gun and anti-2A. I won't bother to say that at this point, but it's multifaceted. Social media definitely is playing a part in our mental health crisis. There is a very lax view of responsibility with respect to guns by some of these families, like the amount of kids that are getting killed with guns, but with respect to school shootings specifically, I think that we kind of look back at it, it's kind of like, man, Billy would never do that, and they just kind of go on with it. When the signs were there, because the last few, it's like, how did this dummy get a gun? Or he had a gun, and how come y'all didn't see the signs? Like, y'all not paying attention to your kid? like the signs are there and people kind of like didn't pay attention, you know.
But what if that is the answer though, Finley? What if it is that dumb? Like if you look at the strong correlation, when did we start having school shootings? Like Holly even said, you started seeing attacks begin. Like, well, that's not necessarily the first one, but you started seeing like attacks gain some ground, posting it. Like I guess you put late 70s, 80s, and then there was a brief pause, and then you had Columbine. So if you're starting to say, hey, what was the precipitous?
Quite literally is the fact that we took mom out of the home, or we took a parent out of the home. What if that is, it's that fucking simple? Because that timelines, if you look, they tend to correlate right there with, and I'm not saying that women need to be barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. I'm not saying, or some of the other guys on the app.
But hold on, dude. But what if it is something that simple? Like we just removed a parent, a guiding force, somebody to connect and teach their kids, and now we're putting it in the hands of 23-year-olds who last week were coking and toking